What's up, everybody? This is JMO, episode 3 of It Is What It Is, and honestly, I'm really stoked to be doing this right now. This episode means a lot to me because this is an experience-based podcast. I'm all about sharing my experiences, what I got going on. I'm trying to share those experiences with other people. I'm trying to get them to experience some other stuff too. Send people to some cool experiences, things like that. That's the whole goal and future of this podcast. And I'm pretty stoked for it. So I really appreciate all the love and support that I've gotten through this. It's been, like I said, this is episode 3, and I've probably recorded maybe 10 of these. And to be completely honest and transparent, most of them haven't worked out. Like, for one reason or another, I've screwed something up, or I've dropped the ball and didn't know how to use my equipment, which I'm still learning and still struggling through that. So if anybody has any suggestions on a video podcast of how to get it all recorded and everything, please reach out to me because that would be very helpful. But back to episode 3. So this is a cool episode. I had envisioned in my head what I wanted for my podcast, and it's not what episode 1 or 2 or any of the other ones I had recorded ended up being. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean that I think it will continue to change, the podcast and everything, which is a cool thing. It's not a bad thing at all. And I think I learned a lot too from producing those episodes and putting it out there and actually seeing on the screen what it was and how I want it to be different, which made me start thinking about other aspects of my life too. If you're not in it, you're not doing it, and you're not being about that life and whatever you want to call it, it's hard to make the adjustments. If you don't have something out there, and if you're not kind of putting yourself out there, it's going to make it real tough to change in the right direction. And I was looking at that with relationships, and I was looking at that with my work life, and I was looking at that through that lens at a bunch of different aspects of things I've got going on. And the podcast is cool. It's been tough. I don't think that, I'm great at it by any means, but I do think I'll get better, and I'll start to learn the technology and the software and all that cool stuff. And I'm really just trying to focus on experiencing the uncomfortable. And if I'm not doing something uncomfortable for me anymore, if I'm not trying to grow or move in a certain direction, then I feel guilty, and I feel like I'm not trying to become something better, which is a really cool feeling. I'm currently taking singing lessons. I'm currently taking lyric lessons. I'm in a music production class. I am doing YouTube University for podcast production. So any and all free videos on YouTube, I'm watching those, trying to figure out the best way to get my setup dialed in and all that kind of stuff. So with all that being said, I hope that my failures and shortcomings with my new adventures kind of help you also realize that it doesn't really matter. Just get out there and do it, and chase down whatever you have a passion for. And hopefully the mistakes that I have and this different stuff kind of goes to show that it doesn't really matter, and genuinely it is what it is, and people don't really care. I feel like I've gotten tons of support, tons of love. It's been really cool, and it's just the beginning. The goal for this experience podcast is to produce experiences, parties, experience new lifestyles. I want to experience people's hobbies, people's interests. I want to be able to share them with my friends and my family. That's really the people who are going to be supporting this, which I think is cool. And genuinely, I appreciate y'all. I've rambled on for about a couple minutes now. But like I said, this is an episode of It Is What It Is. And this episode is really cool. I stepped out of my comfort zone. In my head, I kind of envisioned what we're doing right now with me talking, kind of introducing an episode. And to be completely honest with you, I was really nervous to like put myself on camera and just talk, just me, as if I had something important to say. But what I want to share with this last week or two with what's been going on, cool experiences for sure. I got to go home, which is San Luis Obispo, California. I got to go home and see some friends and family, which was really cool in one way for sure. But it also made me realize that an environment can kind of take you back to like a different place or time, or like a different feeling of like in your life. Don't know if that made sense. Kind of just word vomited there. But being in a different environment, it made me feel like a person I used to be that I'm not anymore. And it was an odd feeling. Obviously, it was really good to see family and friends, and that was awesome. And people were super supportive and were like, hey, I know you got the podcast going on, which was super cool too. And I appreciate that. Shout out to Coach Ross. I saw Coach Ross at Mason Bar, and he told me that I need to make a specific segment to tell him what's going on. So Coach Ross, this podcast, I do have a vision for it. I don't really know where it's going yet, but it is based around experiences for sure. And we'll jump into those experiences here in a moment. What else happened while I was home in San Luis Obispo, other than seeing friends and family and experiencing that weird feeling of like being like almost like a kid again, like not in a good way. It was just a really interesting experience being home. And I love where I live, and I love my family and my friends, but I feel like the growth that I've had out in Dallas has been great. And it was just odd. I don't even know if I can put it into words, but if you know what I'm talking about, shoot me a text so we can laugh about it. Experiences that I had in SLO, it was really cool. What did I do? I got to fly for the first time with my buddy Justin and my new buddy Noah. That was super cool. That was rad. That was a really cool experience from top to bottom. We got to go out on the terminal there in SLO Airport, hop in a plane. We flew down to Santa Barbara for dinner. We were there for like an hour, not even that maybe. And we had dinner and we jammed out. That was really cool. I would highly recommend it. So anybody that wants to link up in SLO, I'll be back in October. Would love to try to get Justin and Noah to take us down to Santa Barbara for the day again. It was a wild experience. Like taking off in like a little plane like that, like a little Cessna, and landing too was very different than like flying on a commercial jet. That's for sure. And if anyone wants to experience it, let's do it. Let's go. We'll jam down to Santa Barbara. We'll see where those guys might want to take us. But it was really cool. It was really fun. I appreciate Justin for that. I've also got some footage of Justin kind of talking about flying, so we'll get in that a little bit later as well. But what else? I got to hang out with my mom and my stepdad and my brother. That was great. What else did I do? Hung out with some friends. It's always insane to like, you go home and you see your old buddies and everything, or your old friends, and immediately it's like, all right, let's go grab some drinks. Let's go have some fun. And I feel like that's that way for everybody. You know, you just kind of go out and have some drinks and tell them how much you missed them. And so that was cool. Shout out to my boy Stefan. We got a little litty one night, and that was cool. I also wanted to share the experience that I had of backpacking for the first time. That was insanely cool. I got to go with my stepbrother and my brother, my stepdad. We went up to the Sequoias and we backpacked for a couple nights, and we saw some beautiful lakes. That was really cool. My brother caught a fish. I caught a fish. It's just absolutely wild. I don't know when the last time I went fishing was, but it was really cool. It was dope being stoned underneath the stars and just kind of like taking it all in, that was a really cool experience. No cell reception, and didn't spend any money. Can't remember the last time I went like a full 24, 48 hours without spending any money. But being out in the woods, didn't spend any money. So really fun time in San Luis Obispo. It was really cool. I've got a couple trips planned. Going to Denver this weekend, which is September 30th. So I'll be there. Hope to do some podcasting while I'm there. So keep an eye out for that. But let's check out. I've got this clip from hanging out with my friends and family, and we're playing this game called Buffalo. Let me explain to you how Buffalo works. If you've never played and you're listening to this, you can now, for the rest of our lives, you can call me out on this game, which I think is really cool. Buffalo, you're about to learn how to play it, and if you know how to play it, there's no exception. You have to play this game. And it's really easy. When you're drinking, if you're drinking with your dominant hand and you take a drink and somebody calls Buffalo while that drink is to your lips, while you're drinking it, and before you take it off your lips, if somebody calls Buffalo, then you've got to drink that entire drink. Whatever's in your hand, whatever you're drinking, you got to pound it. And that's it. That's the game of Buffalo. It lasts your whole life, and anyone can play it at any time. You can call out Buffalo. So if you now know how to play this game, feel free to get me. I'm left-handed, so you should see a drink in my left hand. Or no, my right hand. You should see a drink in my right hand at all times. And that's how that game works. So check out these clips from us playing Buffalo while we were just bullshitting, having a good time. You can watch us be entertained by this wild video too, which was, I can't describe it, but just listen to how we describe it, and maybe it'll paint an image in your head. I think that'd be a cool experience. So check this out.
Oh God, did somebody fall off the building?
Oh my God.
Why do you go to that extreme?
You really
It
just
could be
go
extreme.
somebody
Not
falling off
actually
the building?
Oh God.
Oh, there's a shadow.
It's Michael Myers, right?
Dude, it's Mike Myers.
He's got he's sure got something to stab you with.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Shut up. Is he gonna shit?
He has a nice body, though. Oh, he's backing it up. Oh, he's got gloves on. That's smart.
Oh,
shit!
That thing looks like a hydro flask.
He's proud.
No,
No,
do that.
don't tase him.
Legit, my favorite part is when Alex screams like, "Don't tase him," right there at the end. But the video, I'm telling you, this video was just so out of pocket, so wild, and it was pretty funny. Here is some more.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Jeff.
well, it is a laxative. Though.
What?
Yeah, I used to know dudes that would they'd put a chaw in. 30 minutes later, they were in the camp.
Huh.
They would do it on purpose, so they take a shit.
Do you know when
That makes
coffee.
sense.
And it makes you not eat as much, too.
you wouldn't know this, but like in high school, I took a chew like on the van ride back from like a game in LA, and it was like a 4-hour drive. I took a chew, and we're on like in the middle of the freeway, and I was like, I have to shit right now, and I made one of like the underclassmen hold a bag, and I shit
No,
in the
you
bag
didn't.
in the van,
No, you didn't.
and it like the van.
Wait, so you had somebody hold a bag so you could shit in it?
Yeah, Chris Davidson. Shout out Chris Davidson. And I made Chris, you know Chris? I made Chris hold the bag, and then I made him take his sock off so I could wipe my ass. And I wiped my ass with his sock, and then I put it in the bag, and we threw it
What
up in
kind
the
of
middle
bag
on the
was
freeway. It was like a Target bag.
Those Target bags are nice.
They don't have holes in them.
They don't have holes.
Yeah.
I would have shit in
It's not like those food for less ones.
So I was trying to do something during during that episode, and I'm going to show it to you here. And I was very awkward about it, and I don't know why I was so awkward about it, and I still am, I guess. But what I was trying to do is tell you who my friends and family are that I was hanging out with, having a good time, and if any of them, reminded you of people in your life, I was hoping that you'd reach out to them and text them, tell you miss them, and whatever, and tell them hi. And I think that would be a cool experience to be able to relate what's going on at the podcast, whatever, and then to anybody listening or watching at home, and if you can relate to it, if you think that, those people that I'm talking about remind you of anyone, I think that's super cool. I think I know a lot of people have really special friends and family in their life, and these experiences that I'm having with people, they're super cool, and I just want to give them a special shout out. So I'll play the video for you, and then it'll kind of make a little bit more sense. There's actually something I want to do for this podcast.
What's that?
So the 17 people who watch this, when they make it to this point, I want to say, like, Bryce is really hard to get out to hang out with, and he called me and it made me feel really good. And so if you have a friend that's really hard to get out, Justin, my best friend, thick and thin. Jess gives the best hugs. Alex has the best smile. Wilson is the best looking dude I know. This fucking guy. I got Kiefer here, who is now, I feel like my brother, because you two are brothers. Wow. This is my brother. And my brother, who I love more than anyone. So if any of those people remind you of people that you know, text them, tell them what's up.
Oh, that's cool.
Right? Yep. That was me trying to say that Bryce is a really special friend of mine. It's hard to get him out. It's always good to see him, and I always love spending time with that guy. Justin, my best friend for years now. Love that guy. Really, it is what it is with him, and nothing will ever change. Jess, his girlfriend, super sweet. She's rad. She gives the best hugs for sure, and hugs are like super important. When somebody gives me like a one-arm hug, I'm like, damn, like, okay. So like, I feel like hugs are like an easy, good way to make somebody feel good, and that you care about them and whatever. Alex, she's so sweet. My buddy's fiance. Congratulations to Will and Alex. They just got recently engaged. We were talking about that a little bit on the episode, but I left it out because it's a tearjerker, and it's just mad cute. I'm just playing. Will, I love that guy. He's such a good dude, and I'm so stoked for him and Alex. And Kiefer was there as well. Kiefer is a new good buddy of mine. He's a good buddy of my brother, so he's a good buddy of mine. That's how it works. He's got some really cool property out there in San Luis Obispo. It was great being able to check that out. He's got a couple acres. I forget how big it was, but it was just so cool being out there, kind of just trekking around and checking out his property. That was a lot of fun. I know him and my brother hang out there quite a bit, which is cool. And then I have my brother on there too, and love my brother to death. He's like the funniest person I know, and super hardworking. So if any of those people remind you of people you got in your life, that's what's up. You're very fortunate, as I am. And I just wanted to kind of say that very quickly. And this episode's big for me. It was very intimidating to get on here and talk just me alone. It's kind of part of what I envisioned for the podcast. Again, I appreciate y'all bearing with me as I figure it out and kind of get to a normal schedule and routine and a normal flow and vibe for the podcast and everything. The last cool piece that I've got here, one of the experiences that I had in SLO, was I got to sit down with my buddy Justin and kind of BS and talk about some flying. So if you're interested in flying or what it might take to get your pilot's license or kind of like what that looks like, this video is definitely for you. This clip is for you.
This stuff that I'm doing right now is like really meticulous, like stuff that really, after I pass my private, from my understanding, like, we don't ever use it. It's just going to be an extra tool in the scenario of like one of my other points of navigation doesn't work. This is just one more like navigational tool that I can use.
Yeah. That's dope, bro. I appreciate. I know you did that wild episode with everybody the other night.
Try not to think about it.
I know, me too. A lot we got to edit out for sure. For everybody who doesn't know, this is Justin. He is my best friend, bartender, pilot extraordinaire. And I was telling you, I was thinking about you the other night, and I was like, it's so dope that you have like such good bartending skills and you're a pilot. I feel like that's just such a dangerous combo. Like, oh, you want to go fly somewhere dope, and then when we get there, I'll make you sick cocktails.
The ultimate party trick.
Yeah, flying and bartending.
Yeah, I can transport us to our party and just make it absolutely sick.
Yeah. So tell me about it. Like, if somebody wants to become a pilot, like, what are the steps? Like, what's the overview?
You know, everybody has their own path on how they become pilots, and actually still to this day ask people questions like, how did you go about it? You know, like there's, again, different ways to go about it and get it done. And I don't think I've heard all of them, like all the different paths you can take.
Yeah.
There's, big flight schools that you can actually, it's like, going back to college, you clock in, clock out, 8-hour days, don't have any time for work, student housing, that kind of stuff. And then there's, the type of flying that I'm doing where it's like, okay, I work, and have a house to pay for and stuff like that, and I don't have that amount of time to kind of get it done, or at least I haven't figured it out. So I'll just kind of pay for my flying as I go, kind of thing.
And how's that route been working out for you? Do you think you would do that route again, or would you do like the schooling if you had to do it over again?
Well, I'm still doing it, and I would still actually after I think, I pass and finish my private, I will actually look at a school like that to, for my education purposes, I think that might actually be a better route for me. Because one of my biggest, flaws is not studying enough, It's I really need to, dedicate, a certain amount of time of the day to flying. I even been telling myself, okay, in the car, turn on almost podcast styles for aviation, just so I can, whatever time I can squeeze in, get it done.
Yeah. So when you say private, I know we've talked about it before, but what does that entail? And what is it?
Yeah. Private pilot's license is almost like an equivalent to a driver's license. You are a licensed pilot and you're allowed to fly under certain conditions and stuff like that whenever you want, kind of thing.
And you can fly whatever, or certain kind of planes?
The planes, you actually have to, from my understanding, is each plane you almost have to be signed off on. I know that there's some pilots out there that will even go to not 6-month courses, but almost seminar type style, so that they can be signed off on all King Airs, Okay. So even my instructor, he can fly my 172 Skyhawk, but in order for him to be signed off on my other company plane, which is Bonanza, he has to have 5 hours of time in that plane before insurance covers him, kind of thing.
Okay.
So every plane's different, and so it makes a lot of sense. The other day, I kind of played first officer and got to fly in a twin engine plane, and I'm this is completely different than the plane that I fly. Yeah. So it's not like how you jump in a car and they're all kind of the same. These things are very different.
So what are we flying today?
It's a 172 Skyhawk. It's actually, I think it's a 19. Oh, actually, that's our plane. That's the plane that I normally fly.
Yeah.
But we are flying a 172 and it's a 2004, I believe.
Okay.
So
Dope.
yeah,
I'm so excited to see you up there, bro.
yeah, it's gonna be rad.
In action and everything.
Yeah, I haven't flown in a while,
Really?
but I took a good sized break from like the last time I flew too, and I was like, all right, like let's see if it like comes back, you know. And it does. It's like
Yeah.
you just gotta pedal a little bit and it'll come back.
Yeah. So you got me, like, I had my motorcycles license or my permit, and you got me my motorcycles license. You made sure I went and got it, and we rode motorcycles for a couple years. We had a great time. And then I have a cousin, and he told me there's nothing like flying. And he even told me, like, riding your motorcycle, like, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
So, like, as two people who have ridden motorcycles, relate it. Like, can you relate flying to it? Like,
Yeah.
would you pick flying over riding? Like, if you like had to pick one, in terms of like the adrenaline and the experience and all that.
It's that's a tough question right there.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I know how much you love motorcycles.
dude, it's the best. You know, like wrapping into a corner, feeling like, you know, the G-force against you. And, I mean, we get G-force too in the plane, but
Yeah.
under, you know, so I was actually thinking about doing like a very specific sort of takeoff for you, just so you can get some butterflies in your tummy.
Sweet.
But yeah, no, I there's a lot to compare to, in like my instructor's never ridden before, and like the way that he describes stuff, I like at the end of it, I'm like, dude, like that sounds a lot like riding a motorcycle.
Yeah.
You know,
That's so dope.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know if I can pick just yet. I mean, I'm sure with sure with time like passing, like maybe I'll be able to pick. But
yeah,
I'm gonna get a new bike here pretty soon, and like you'll see today, like being up in like, you know, one of these small planes, like every time the way that you feel today, it's like how it feels every time. It's sometimes even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's absolutely gorgeous. You know, it's almost like as much as like there's so much going on, but at the same time, it's like harmonious and just like almost like calming too at the same time.
Yeah.
Kind of like that same feeling when you're riding. You know, there's a lot going on, but it's also like kind of like a calming.
Sometimes you can just get, the calming. That's a really good way to put it. Like you just kind of get lost in it, and like all of a sudden you're miles down the road, and you're like, I was feeling something totally different than when I like wanted to go out and like ride like all ratchet and like and get up.
Yeah. Like 30 minutes just passed and you're like, what? Where did that go?
Yeah.
You know?
And I mean, I guess that can happen to you when you're driving, but like there's a safety
Dude,
difference.
driving sucks, dude. Nobody likes driving.
Dude, come on. Don't do the Camaro like that, bro. No, I'm really looking forward to it. And honestly, like I hope that we still have some sunlight too. But like when we take off and
we will 100% get some sunlight. Oh yeah.
Okay,
and that's kind of like what I was kind of pumped on. I'm like, oh, we're leaving at like a little bit later hour, but I'm like, no, this is gonna be sick, dude. You're gonna catch like, you know, some beautiful skies like at this time, and yeah, it's gonna be rad. It's not gonna be too hot up there either. Sometimes it gets a little warm. I've seen like pilots come through like the FBO, like just like literally all buttons open. Just freaking, just letting it out, just airing it out, just dripping sweat because it's freaking hot.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, no, it's going to be a good day. Did you bring a jacket, by the way?
No, bro. No luggage, no nothing. Just two tall boys.
Dude, you're just, those will keep you warm. Those will keep you warm. Cool. Yeah. But, yeah, definitely no drinking.
I don't know. My pilot didn't tell me that. Yeah, no drinking for you. But, like, my pilot didn't tell me to bring anything. I figured we're going to dinner in Santa Barbara and maybe I'll get a jacket there and then I'll go back.
I brought a jacket. I might not use it.
All right, cool.
So, yeah. It might get cold. It might not.
All right.
It'll be all right.
What time do we have? What time do you have right there?
18:24.
There we go. No.
That's 6:24. I can see you looking over
like,
there. Hold the two. Round it.
Nah. That's so dope. I'm so excited that you're flying, dude, because it feels so right for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, and when I think about you And when I envision you up there and really enjoying it and being happy, and anytime you talk about it, you're just like over the moon, you know?
Dude,
Like,
when we originally talked about it, like when it first like hit, like, you know, when you asked me like, why don't you take what you're thinking like to the next step? When I was telling you I just want to travel more, I'm like, man, how do I travel more? Like, how do I get on that plane? Like, you know, and you're like, dude, why don't you become the pilot? I'm like, what? Like,
I think
I don't know.
subconsciously you knew you wanted to do that.
I don't know, man. And then like you fucking, what's that goddamn Leonardo DiCaprio movie? You freaking
Catch Me If You Can.
No, it's the one where you got Inception. You incepted me, bro.
Oh yeah.
I was like, dude, I want to be a pilot now. And yeah, ever since, dude, I'm like, dude, why didn't I freaking land on this idea sooner? Like, what? And it's because I don't have any like friends, and well, now I do, but like then I didn't know anyone in aviation. Like my family didn't have any aviation background, and then like when I found out like you're going as fast as you are up in the sky, like I'm like, oh my god, this sounds perfect. And people always ask me like, you know, what's your goal with flying? I'm like, yeah, you know, I want to make a career out of it, and you know, eventually get like paid to do it, but like the real goal is just to go like as high and as fast as possible.
Nice.
So yeah.
What's like the fastest jet? Do you know already the fastest jet you could legally fly? Like, because I would imagine the military has the fastest stuff, but you wouldn't be able to fly that, right?
Oh, I mean, we had like a, what was it, a T-38 Talon. It's like one of the fighter jets that like anybody can buy, basically. And it's we did a flyby, and I was like, oh my god, like how do I get in that thing?
Is that the video you sent me?
Yeah, I might have sent it to you. Yeah. I'm sure I did. I sent it to everybody. Like, dude, I haven't heard from you in like 6 months. What is this? I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. But yeah, no. I looked it up. I'm like, oh, like how much would it cost to get like a discovery flight in that? Something like in aviation world is like a discovery flight, whether it's a helicopter or a single engine plane. But there's discovery flights with fighter jets.
No way.
And yeah, I don't know how far you go in that discovery flight. You know what I mean? Like, do they give you the wheel kind of thing?
That would be epic.
But it costs like $5,000 for like I think like 30 minutes or something like that. But I'm like, dude, that's a pretty kick-ass 30 minutes.
For real.
So.
And if you're gonna be a pilot and you're gonna get the license and have the skills and understand how to do it, like spend the money and do that.
Yeah.
Because really, how many people get to do that in their life? You know?
Yeah.
I think that'd be sweet.
Yeah. And then like being in like the aviation world, like you just like kind of think like, oh man, I hope I bump into somebody that might know somebody to help me. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just because it's a whole different like game in this in this world. You know, it's like you meet a lot of people, and a lot of people are pilots already. And fly this and fly that, and sometimes it's a little overwhelming. Like, geez, man, I didn't know there was this many pilots. You know, but it's just because you're in this world now.
Yeah,
so it's pretty cool.
I agree. Me trying to like do podcasting and do music, like I feel the same way. Looking at it like in more of a similar kind of manner of, I don't really have anyone in my direct family or friend group that does it or knows how to do it. I reached out to some friends and they were very, very helpful with the podcasting and the music. But outside of that, paying for coaches on different stuff, you know, or like tutoring lessons, figure it out. And what sucks is like I went to school, I had classes in some of these things, and I could have taken more advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I really feel like once you immerse yourself in what you want to do, that's when you're like most passionate and you figure it out and you really start to network and get to know people and everything. Yeah. I feel like those are really good connections to have.
Yeah.
Well, dope, bro. I think we need to pack it up and
let's go.
Need to go grab my tall boys and
let's go flying.
All right, bro. You the man.
I can do it.
I appreciate it. I really do appreciate all the love and support. I've been learning a lot about myself and how hard it is to like chase something down. As everybody who knows me knows that I just absolutely love Mac Miller, love Mike. He used to go by Mike Stud. And like I would look at their lives and stuff, and I'm like, man, that's so cool. Like it would be so cool to do that. And I was saying that for so long that it just felt wrong not to like try and do something like that, emulate a life like that. I think it's so cool that, you know, Mike gets to travel around and stay in different places and really just be himself and try to create and inspire other people to do what they love to do as well. And I'm like, dang, I'm gonna try to do that. I think that's rad. And it is kind of weird too, though. Like with all the love that I've been getting, like the hate is weird too. Like people like messaging me and clowning, like, "Oh, what do you want to like be Mike Stud or whatever?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds cool." But like, I don't really understand like when. Damn, I gotta stop saying like so much. I don't understand where it stops being cool to chase after something that you want, you know? And I'm just looking for some cool experiences and everything. And I appreciate, you know, the love and support. Again, can't say that enough because it's been awesome, and it'll get better. It'll shape into something different, and I really do appreciate everybody. And this is episode 3. I'm gonna cut it here, but the next ones will be longer. I'll have more material and hopefully something more to talk about. But it is what it is. So I'll see y'all later. Have a good one.